and gentlemen, once again, as always, it's the one, it's the only, it's the motherfucking General Miguel Magayon! And as always, the president, the founder, the CEO of Magayon Entertainment! And leader of the sports betting Mexican podcast. What up, what up, what up, what up, ladies and gentlemen? Back at it again. Another video for you guys on the podcast or audio. And tonight I wanted to talk about the Los Angeles Lakers. I wanted to talk about Anthony Davis. And I wanted to talk about motherfucking LeBron James. And I want to talk about this Los Angeles Lakers roster because I am unveiling a new 2023 strategy when it comes to fading or taking the Los Angeles Lakers. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, as always, when the General's about to teach you some shit, when the General's about to educate you on shit, and when the General's about to drop some knowledge in this motherfucker, ladies and gentlemen, you get the pens and the motherfucking pads. Let's get into this.
Now, for the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world on HBO pay-per-view, ladies and gentlemen, from Mandalay Bay, Las Vegas, let's get ready to rumble!
Woo! Ladies and gentlemen, let's motherfucking do this. So, let's get straight into this. LeBron James, Los Angeles Lakers. What are my thoughts? What are my predictions? And what is my in-game analysis when it comes to this roster this evening? So, ladies and gentlemen, let's get into this. I got to tell you guys, I think this Los Angeles Lakers roster is trash. I think it's garbage. I think it's really fucking shitty. And I've been watching a lot of the Lakers games this season. Trust me, I have. In the name of fucking Kobe, I have been watching this Lakers team to make sure that they're doing what they're supposed to do, honor Kobe's memory, honor the fucking Lakers legacy, and just fucking go out there and try to compete for titles, what a Lakers should be doing. This Lakers roster to me, it's shitty. It sucks. It's garbage to me. And the main reson I think this Lakers roster is garbage is because I thought all of these, late, season acquisitions that they had last season were going to work out and they were going to play great together. They were going to mesh together and they were going to be better than the subs that, we used to have, last season or the season before to start last season. I got to tell you, it looks no better to me. And I know there's a lot of guys on the team that you would say they probably play better or they're just better players in general than the guys we used to have on the team. Hachimura being one of them, Austin Reeves being another, Christian Wood. I thought that was a great pickup, a great acquisition. They have some players on the team. The problem to me is none of them ever fucking play defense. This Lakers team is bottom 5 in the league when it comes to points per game, when it comes to opposing players' efficiency, and when it comes to offensive rebounding, meaning the other team is basically just getting offensive rebounds all night long. So these guys aren't blocking out. They're not defending the fast break. They're not defending the 3-point line. They're giving up stupid fucking meaningless free throws at the end of games. And they're not really they're not great when it comes to on-ball defense. They're kind of just like playing general team defense. You know what I'm saying? So to me, the biggest issue with this team is the defense, but it's the defense with the secondary. When Anthony Davis and LeBron James, when they go down to the bench, that's where I see a lot of the hiccups. That's where I see a lot of the fuck-ups. I was watching First Take this morning, ESPN, with Stephen A. Smith's old ass. And he was getting on that ass. And he was basically saying, like, yo, this Lakers roster needs to start competing. Because they gave up 120 to the Denver Nuggets. They gave up 130 to the Clippers, 130 to the Kings, 120 to the Orlando Magic. And They even gave up 100 to the Phoenix Suns. Granted, they won that game, but that game was without Devin Booker, and that game was without Bradley Beal, who hasn't played a game all season. What did I tell you guys too on the other NBA podcast where I was talking about the Phoenix Suns and the sports betting strategy? Bet the Phoenix Suns to lose every fucking game this season, because for some reason Vegas has them like as a 7-point, 9-point, 8-point, 10.5-point favorite every single game this season. Even though Bradley Beal and Booker are doing nothing but missing games this season, for some reason Vegas still puts, KD by himself, and I. You know what I mean? Like, they're still favoring the Suns in almost every single matchup this season. And I was, I told you guys that didn't make any sense to me, and I would fade the Phoenix Suns every game this season, and I would bet them to lose every game, because they're not going to lose every game, but the games that they do lose are going to be games where the other team, you can grab them at plus 200, plus 300, plus 400 on the money line. So that was a situation where I kind of noticed, like, man, Bradley Beal, he's constantly missing games. Bradley Beal has like missed 20 plus games each of the last 5 seasons. Kevin Durant has never played a full season since that ACL injury, and Devin Booker has never played a full season in his entire fucking life. Like, all he does is miss games. So I said, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if the starting three, the big three, only play maybe 40, 50 games together this season, and the other 30 games are kind of just like a mesh of whatever's out there. Because, again, Kevin Durant's not going to play the full season. He never has since that ACL injury. Devin Booker has never played a full season in his life. And Bradley Beal, for the past 5 consecutive seasons, has missed 20 games or more. So you have a roster, yeah, it's talented on paper, but I told you guys, they're not going to play a lot of games together this season, maybe only 45, 50, which means so they'll win those 30 games where they all do play together. They'll probably go like 29-1, 28-2, at worst 27-3, because that's just too much offensive firepower to me. But those games where they're not all playing together, and it's just Kevin Durant by himself, or Devin Booker by himself, or just Bradley Beal by himself, if it's just like 1 or 2 or less, they're probably going to lose the majority of those games. And you know what I mean? It's just not enough. So to me, I said bet the Phoenix Suns to lose every game this season. Now, again, they're probably still going to win at least 40, 50 games minimum. But those 30 games that they do lose, those 30, 35 games they probably end up losing this year, those are going to be opportunities where you can snatch the other team at plus 200, plus 300, plus 400, plus 500 on the money lines, because the Phoenix Suns are, for some reason, by the Vegas point spread, they're massive favorite in the majority of games that they're playing in this season, even though they only have 1 or 2 guys who are available to play every night. And I think the reason why, real quick, before we jump back into this Lakers thing, I think the reason Vegas is always setting them up on the early lines as minus 10 favorites is because Vegas sets the line assuming that all of their big three are going to play. So they don't take the risk. They just say, okay, what would the spread be if they did have KD, they did have Bradley Beal, and they did have Devin Booker? If they had all three, what would the spread actually be? It'd probably be like minus 15. And then once they get confirmation that Bradley Beal's not playing because of his back issue, or Devin Booker because of his ankle injury, or Kevin Durant because of his leg, whatever it is, once they get confirmation that 1 or 2 or more are not playing, that's when they can bring down the line. But because there's so many Phoenix Suns fans out there that believe they're going to win the championship, they're betting them every single game, and they're betting them on every single line. So they set the line really high, as it would be if all three were playing. And then once they get that verification, that confirmation later on in the day before tip-off, that's when they start to lower the line. So that way they fuck over everyone who try to take them on minus 10, minus 15, and then they lower the line. So now if you try to take the other side and hedge your bet, now you gotta, you know what I mean? Now you don't get the other team plus 10, plus 15. You got to take the other team plus 5. You know what I mean? So they kind of like fuck everyone. They fuck everyone who's bullish on the Suns, and then they fuck everyone who's trying to hedge their bets on the Sun. So that's why I said, for me, on the other, podcast recorded on this, the other, NBA clip we recorded on this podcast, I said I would take the early lines and always bet the other team. If you can do it on the money line, great. But first thing you do when you wake up every single morning before that injury report is released, and Vegas has a heads up before all of that, 5, 6, 7, 8 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock if you're out there in New York. Shout out to all the Boricuas out there in NY who's listening to me right now. I would wake up, first thing I would do every morning at 3, 4, 5, 6 a.m. in the morning, I would look at whatever that spread is, if you can bet that money line on the other team, and I would just take the Suns to lose every single game this season. And again, they're still going to win 40, 50 games minimum, but those 25 to 35 games that they do end up losing because they don't have their big three, those 25, 35 games they end up losing, that other team, I guarantee you, they're plus 200, plus 300, plus 400, sometimes plus 500 on the money line. Right? Because again, these guys, the big three, they're not going to play every game this season. I think they only play 40, 50 games together this year. And that's a maybe. I mean, at this point, we don't even know when we're going to see Bradley Beal. He hasn't even played one game this season. KD's been doing it by himself. Devin Booker kind of comes and goes. So you look at this Phoenix Suns, if you look at their schedule and you look at their place, I mean, look, they're 3-4 already. So if you had just listened to me, you would have already cashed out 4 tickets, and all 4 tickets you would have cashed out, you would have got the other team on plus money, plus 2, plus 3, plus 4 on the money line. So I would continue to do that shit. Just real quick update on that before we move into this Lakers shit. I would continue to fade them every single game this season. And first thing I would do every single day when I wake up in the morning is I would just look at the other team. I'd take that ass. Plus 2, plus 3, plus 4, sometimes plus 5 on the money line. Because you don't know who's going to be available. And if Bradley Beal and Devin Booker and KD actually all play and they do have all their big three, okay, yeah, whatever. That's probably, your ticket's going to lose, probably guarantee, because I think they're probably going to end up going, 27-1 or 28-2 when the big three actually fucking play together. But I think more games than not, they're not going to have a lot of games to play together. I think they're only going to play 15, 25, maybe 30 games this season together, And then the other 20 games that they win is just going to be KD doing it by himself, or KD and Devin Booker, or Devin Booker and Bradley Beal. They'll find ways to win even without their big three. You know what I mean? Because they're just, that elite. But other than that, I still have the Phoenix Suns, and I said this at the beginning of the year. I have them losing 20 to 30 games this year minimum. I don't think they're going to be a top 2 or top 3 seed. I think at best they're like a 4 or 5 seed, and a lot of that just has to do with injuries because Bradley Beal has missed 20 games or more in 5 consecutive seasons. Devin Booker has never played a full season in his life, even though he's under 30. You got to be kidding me. And Devin Booker hasn't played a full season, Kevin Durant, KD hasn't played a full season since that ACL injury. He always misses about 5 to 10 games every year. So overall, I think the vast majority of their games they lose are going to be because they don't have their big three. And I think those are going to add up to like 25 to 35 losses this year. Easy. And so far, they're already 3-4. You got to be kidding me. So I would just continue to take the other team early on the money line because, again, the way Vegas is setting the spread is they're just looking at what the line would be if they did have their big three. And then once they get that constant verification confirmation, then they can bring down that line from a -10, -15 to a -5, -6, -7.5. And even then, they're still going to lose some of those games because Kevin Durant's not always going to have a blowout game. Devin Booker is not always going to go for 35. There's going to be games where Kevin Durant is cold. There's going to be games where Devin Booker is having turnovers after turnovers. You know what I mean? Like, there's going to be games where Bradley Beal just doesn't have his legs that day. You know what I mean? Because they're not going to play special or elite every single fucking game. And if they only have 2 of their stars or less, a lot of these games they're just playing with only KD. In games where he struggles or games where he's off a little bit, it's hard enough to win when he is on fire. But when he's ice cold, that team's going to get blown out by fucking 30. So, again, I would continue to follow that strategy. And that's just a quick update on that. Best bet them to lose every game this season. Again, they're probably still going to win at least 40 to 50 in my opinion. But those 25 to 35 games they do lose, I promise you'll be able to get the other team plus 2, plus 3, maybe even plus 4, plus 5 on the money line. And so at the end of the season, those 25 tickets that cash, if you get all of those tickets at plus 200, plus 300, plus 400, I'm telling you guys right now, you guys are going to be able to double and triple your profits by the end of the year. All you have to do is bet the same amount every single day and always take the other team on the money line. And I promise you guys, by the time we finish this 82-game season, you guys are going to be able to double and triple your profits. It just takes consistency, and it's going to be, a long, drawn-out process. Make sure you're betting the same amount every single game. Don't try to Mardi Gras style it or, anything like that. Just bet the same amount every single game and bet them to lose. Because there will be games where Kevin Durant leaves the game because of injury. There's going to be games where Devin Booker, gets in foul trouble. There's going to be games where Bradley Beal, he's just not in NBA shape and he doesn't have his legs under him yet because he hasn't played in a year and a half. You know what I mean? Like, there's going to be those kind of games and those moments. So again, I would continue to look to fade them, and not just against the good teams. I would also bet them to lose against the bad teams too, because sometimes a bad team can catch on fire, and KD's not going to be on every single fucking night. There's going to be games where he's just off, and there's nothing the Suns can do about it when he's playing by himself with no Bradley Beal and no Devin Booker in sight. So again, I still think they win 40, 50 games. I do think they're just too talented not to. But I don't have them as a top 2, top 3 seed. Maybe at the end of the season if they catch on fire. But I have them as a 4, 5, 6 seed. And honestly, I don't think it really matters because I don't think they care about seeding. I think the only thing the Phoenix Suns care about is being healthy in the postseason, because that's really all that matters. No one cares if they end up as a 4, 5, 6 seed. As long as all three of them, their big three, are healthy to start the postseason, they can pretty much beat anybody. So they don't really care. If anything, I wouldn't be surprised if they ended up the 8 seed, and that way they can face the Denver Nuggets in the first round. Like, you know what I mean? Because I think they want that smoke. I think they want that action. I think they're about that life. I think Devin Booker and KD definitely want to play the Denver Nuggets one more time. So, maybe they get the 4 or 5 seed, but again, even if they got the 8 seed, I don't think it really fucking matters. Because again, when their big three are healthy, like the fucking seeding doesn't matter. So anyways, that's just my quick thoughts and updates, and I'll probably create another clip on this on the side. But anyways, getting into the Los Angeles Lakers, it's a very similar situation and very similar strategy that I'm unveiling this evening, because I think you can practically do the same thing. I am at the point now where I'm going to say I think it's smart just to bet the Lakers, the Los Angeles Lakers, to probably lose almost every single road game this season, and to even lose a lot of their home games at Staples. And I think they're going to lose a lot of the games, especially the ones that matter, because I have been watching a lot of their games. I watched them against the Denver Nuggets. I watched them against the Phoenix Suns. I watched them against the Sacramento Kings. I watched both of the games against the fucking Orlando Magic, and I watched half the game versus the Clippers and half the game versus the Heat, and I'm probably not even going to watch the game tonight against the Houston Rockets. Maybe the one on Friday night when they play the Phoenix Suns one more time. That'll be interesting to see if they have Devin Booker back or maybe Bradley Beal. We'll fucking see. But I've been watching a lot of their games and most of their games, and I got to tell you, this secondary unit is what scares me. I think this secondary unit is fucking garbage. I think this Lakers roster fucking sucks right now. And it's not because they're not talented. It's because they're not playing hard, especially when it fucking matters on the other side of the ball. Christian Wood can hit open jump shots. What's his name? Hiroshima? What the fuck was his name? I just said it not too long ago. Was it fucking Hurama? Whatever the fuck his name is. That guy, he can hit open jump shots. Austin Reeves, sometimes he's him, sometimes he's not him. But I think my main issue is when it comes to the other side, a lot of them just aren't playing good team defense. And I know a lot of that has to do with chemistry. A lot of that has to do with cohesiveness. This is a new group. This is a new unit. They had a lot of, off-season movement and acquisitions and re-signing. And, everyone's trying to get their role right. And everyone's trying to figure out their minutes. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes this guy plays 25. The next time he's a DMP. You know what I mean? So everyone's trying to figure out the roster, the rotation, the minutes, the substitutions. This is basically a fairly new team. And so I get it. Darvin Ham's job is really difficult because it's obvious that the Lakers are trying to restrict LeBron's minutes because they want him to be fresh in the postseason. They want him to be healthy in the postseason, and they want him to have a ton of energy in the postseason. But at the same time, they can't afford to lose too many games in the regular season, which is where Anthony Davis should, in theory, step up. But what do I always say about this bitch? He plays like a fucking pussy. This dude's always hurt, always on the ground, always talking about injury. Oh, my back hurts, my knee hurts, my leg hurts, my arm hurts, my pussy hurts. Every time you look at the game, he's on the floor, he's crying, he's wincing, he's going, ooh, my neck and my back. I want another $150 million max contract. I'm like, bro, if you don't shut the fuck up and get out of here with that bullshit. Again, I can't believe the Lakers. It's not that I can't believe they re-signed him. I can't believe they gave him max money. I can't believe they gave him a fucking 3-year extension on top of his current contract. You gotta fucking be kidding me. I was on the record a long time ago. I think they should just let LeBron James and Anthony Davis leave, and they should just restart the whole fucking roster. If it wasn't for the fact that they traded so many of their first round picks, away in that trade with New Orleans and DC and a lot of these other teams, I think they should. I honestly, if they just had some of their draft picks back, I swear to God, I would just let LeBron and AD just walk away after this season and say, hey guys, it's been a good run, good for you. LeBron James, you can be a free agent. And then that way, whoever decides to draft your son, you can go out there and go play with him. And we don't have to orchestrate a fucking trade, for you to go over there to play with him. You can just join whatever team drafts him in the postseason, in the off season. And you'll be able to do it as an unrestricted free agent. And Anthony Davis, you can go fuck off. You can go somewhere else with that bullshit. I'm telling you, and I get it, a lot of Laker fans would be disappointed and disheartened because we'd be basically doing a rebuild, trust the process all over again. But bro, this current process fucking sucks. If it wasn't for that fake ass NBA bubble championship, I don't know what we would be saying about this team. Because before the pandemic, before that bubble championship, that regular season, before they halted the season, the Lakers were trash. The Lakers were garbage. And then everyone got 3 months off, and then they started the little bubble championship. And then by then, the Lakers were healthy. The Lakers were energized. They were fresh. Dwight Howard, JaVale McGee, LeBron James, Anthony Davis, because you got to remember, that team that won the championship in the bubble, they were an old veteran team. So the fact that they basically got 2-3 months off just to sit there and fucking relax and, you know what I mean, deal with their injuries, and then they got to go into a bubble where no one had to travel anywhere. All they had to do is play ball and go back to their hotel room. That is perfect for an old ass fucking NBA team. So, again, but if you look at that season before the bubble, before the pandemic, before the lockdowns because of COVID and all that bullshit, that team was trash. That team was garbage. That team was going nowhere that year. I mean, that was basically a throwaway season. That was not a good year. People forget that shit. They act like the team was on fire and killing it before the pandemic happened. No, the fuck they wasn't. No, the fuck they weren't, America. They were fucking trash then too. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, no. I'm not a fan of Anthony Davis. I'm not a fan of AD. I think he plays too much like a pussy. I feel like he don't got enough heart and soul. I feel like he's always on the ground crying about a bitch ass injury. I wish we had someone better for LeBron James. And I'm not even a fan of LeBron James. You guys know I'm ride or die. I'm fucking Kobe status all day. Black mama mentality. You know what I mean? I was never a huge fan of LeBron James, but I'm a treat him like a fucking booty call. I'm gonna treat him like a thought. You know what I mean? He's here for a reason, and I'm here for a reason. Let's just get her done and, move on. You know what I mean? Let's just, do what we came here to do, and, we can go our separate ways from here. And by the way, I have no problem with LeBron James as a player this year. I think he's been doing spectacular. I think he's been doing phenomenal, actually. I used to have my doubts about him in the Laker uniform because I thought he was going to be too focused on, what was happening off the court, building his brand, growing his businesses, making fucking millions, if not billions of dollars in the Los Angeles, got a movie production company, owning pizza companies. This dude is everywhere out there in LA. He's building brands, building businesses, owning real estate. His real estate portfolio's on fire. You know what I mean? He's buying crypto. He owns Bitcoins. He's making moves out here, man. In LA, he's fucking killing it in the world of business. He is a king out there in the entrepreneurship, industry. Like, he is starting a lot of small businesses, making a lot of smart investments, doing a lot of, you know what I mean, like negotiations behind the scenes. Like, this dude's brokering a lot of deals, and he's making a lot of money out there in Los Angeles. So, good for him. I know that's, one of the big reasons, not the only reason, but one of the big reasons, he came out here to Los Angeles to go play. So good for him. He's accomplishing everything. But I thought it would be a huge distraction for him off the court, and so far it hasn't been. I think the biggest issue with the Lakers has really nothing to do with LeBron James. We know he's old. We know he's balding. We know he ain't fucking got the juice like that. But that's not why they're not winning like that. The reason they're not winning like that is because Anthony Davis is always fucking, dealing with a bitch-ass injury, talking about his fucking pussy hurts, and just doesn't have that mama mentality. If you ask me why the Lakers don't have more than one championship ring, LeBron James is not the culprit. He's not the fucking villain. He is not the main reason they don't have more than one championship. It starts at the top. It starts with the fucking GM not putting enough around LeBron and AD. And then number 2, it has to do with fucking AD. And then number 3, I would say, is probably coaching, because LeBron has had some really bad coaching, during his tenure with Los Angeles. Darvin Ham, he seems alright to me, but I wouldn't call him elite. I wouldn't say he's a GOAT. I wouldn't say he's special. I wouldn't say he's the fucking Todd McVay of fucking basketball. I wouldn't say he's the fucking, you know what I mean? He ain't the Bill Belichick of basketball. Like, he's okay. He's alright. He's good enough, I guess. But I wouldn't say Darvin Ham is elite. I wouldn't go as far to say he's the next fucking Steve Kerr up in this motherfucker. Like, I don't know. He's okay. I'm not saying he's bad. I'm not saying he sucks. I'm not saying he's garbage. I'm saying he's good enough. But let's not call him elite. And so to me, it really starts at the top. It starts with the GM and the roster, and then it starts with AD and his fucking injuries. And then after that, I think it just has to do with effort and playing hard. Because this secondary unit, one of the things that Stephen A. Smith was talking about this morning on ESPN First Take was he was frustrated on how a lot of these dudes have a chance to play with LeBron James and potentially win a championship, because when LeBron James and Anthony Davis are both giving max effort and they're both putting up 30 and fucking 15, like, this team is good enough to win a championship at times. Like, you see it. And then when Austin Reeves contributes, hits 15 to 25, like, it's really hard to stop him. If Anthony Davis is putting up 20 and 10, LeBron James is putting up 20 and 10 and 10, and probably 3 or 4 blocks, and Austin Reeves is dropping another 10, 15, 25 on that ass, it's really hard to stop the Los Angeles Lakers. The problem is, and Stephen A. Smith said this, and I completely agree with him wholeheartedly, is the secondary unit comes in, and you would think they would be fighting for a job. You would think they're fighting for their lives. You would think they're giving max effort every single fucking time. And instead, they're over there walking their ass on defense, jogging, fake effort, you know what I mean? Like, no hustle, just just non-fucking, daisical. Like, sometimes I watch some of these subs and these backups in the Lakers uniform, and I'm like, who the fuck are you? Who the fuck is this guy? Jogging on defense, not running back, can't even hit an open jump shot. LeBron James passes you the ball in the corner pocket, you're wide open from 3, can't even hit that. And you know what I mean? Like, that just frustrates me, because I see LeBron, trying to be a bully in the paint, and he's going after people, and he's attacking motherfuckers, and he's trying to dunk it on their ass. And you know what I mean? When Anthony Davis actually shows up and has a monster game and puts like fucking 28 points in the first half, and then Austin Reeves is doing what Austin Reeves do, and he looks like him sometimes. And then I look at the backup unit, they come in, when LeBron James and AD need a rest sometimes, and they come in, here they go jogging, smiling, goofing off, turn over here, turn over there, missing stupid jump shots, can't hit an open jump shot, getting out-rebounded by the other team, no hustle, no energy, no max effort. And LeBron James and AD are sitting there like, bro, we got you a 10, 15-point lead. Now, these motherfuckers just tied it up. What the fuck, bro? Now we got to go back in there, reclaim that 10, 15-point lead. Like, bro, I'm not asking you to extend the lead, but can you at least maintain the lead? What the fuck, bro? So I feel like a lot of these guys in the Lakers uniforms, the backups, yeah, I'm talking about, Hachimura and Christian Wood and all these other bitch-ass motherfuckers. And it's not just those two, it's everyone else. Everyone on the bench, everyone in the second unit, the entire secondary. I'm looking at them and I'm just like, bro, I see no max effort. There's no max energy. There's no cohesiveness. There's no communication on offense. No communication on defense. And there's no cohesiveness on offense. Like they're just passing ball. No, you take it. No, you take it. No, you take it. Oh, fuck it. I'll just throw up a stupid ass jump shot with the hand on my face, miss that shit, brick it, and then the other team's off and running, and then I'll jog back on defense while they go up there and score a layup. Like, what the fuck, bro? And I think that's what makes Darvin Ham mad. Because he sees the energy from LeBron. He sees the fucking energy sometimes from AD. He sees Austin Reeves trying to be him. And then the fucking whole secondary unit comes in and it's just trash. No ball movement, no communication, no cohesiveness. Can't hit open jump shots, bricking everything to the left. Like, bro, what are we doing right now? So I look at all of this from this perspective, and ladies and gentlemen, I just gotta say this. I think the Lakers are gonna lose a shit ton of games this season. I really fucking do. I don't think they're gonna be a top 4 seed. I don't think they're gonna be top 5. I think once again they're headed straight to the play-in tournament. And, if LeBron James wants to sit here and actually play a full season with his old ass, and AD actually plays a consistent, minutes and games this season, maybe they can get like a 6 seed, but I think they're headed straight. Yeah, I think they're going back into the play-in round. And I wouldn't be surprised if they have to play the Phoenix Suns or the Denver Nuggets in the first round. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I would be fading the Los Angeles Lakers right now for the rest of this season, the entire season, the whole fucking season. And I would bet them probably to get blown out. I think the Lakers are going to get blown out a lot this season. And the reason is because there's going to be games, or I've already seen it with who was it? I think it was with the Heat game, or it was the Denver Nuggets game to start the season, and the Orlando Magic game, that's what it was. They had a game against the Orlando Magic. AD put up like 28 and 20. LeBron James put up another 30. Austin Reeves was putting up 15, 17. And all of a sudden, the Lakers starters go to sit down, and in 3 minutes, the Orlando Magic took off a fucking 15-point lead. And then LeBron and AD come back, and what I noticed from LeBron and AD is they know when they're down 10, 15, 20, they're going to give it their all for like 4 or 5 minutes, and if that's not enough, they're going to sit their ass right back on the bench again. They're going to say, fuck it. We're not going to go balls to the wall to win a regular season game. Like, at some point, the secondary unit's got to hold a lead. At some point, the secondary unit's got to take a lead, because it takes a lot of energy and a lot of effort for LeBron James and AD to come back from a 10, 15-point deficit. And they're going to be fucking exhausted after that, which means they're probably going to suck the next game after that. So I think a lot of them are just playing it smart and saying, look, we understand winning games in the regular season matters, but we're not trying to win every regular season game. We're just trying to stay healthy. And if we have to sacrifice games in order to keep LeBron James minutes down as a starter, then so be it. Because we don't give a fuck about the regular season anyways. We just need enough to win enough games to get into the play-in, and then after that, be healthy when the postseason matters. Because if LeBron James is injured when the playoffs start, or Anthony Davis isn't available when the tournament starts, like, what the fuck was the point of any of this? So I think they're willing to sacrifice games in the name of preventing injuries. And I know that sucks to hear, but I think that's what they're doing. And so if they're down 10, 15 points in the second half, I feel like they're going to forfeit a lot of those games and just take the blowout loss. I don't think they're going to go balls to the wall and be like, LeBron James, go play the second half. We really need to win this game in fucking December. Like, nah, bro. Especially when he already gave you a 20-point lead in the first half, and then the backups came in and fucking just dissipated that shit with their lack of energy, lack of effort, and lack of, ability to hit an open jump shot. Like, at some point, these dudes just got to play harder. So, honestly, the strategy would be simple. Bet them to lose the game, bet them to lose every single game, and bet them to get blown out. And if they're a favorite, take the other team on the money line. Because I truly believe there's going to be games where LeBron James is going to get hurt in the game. Anthony Davis is going to leave the game like he did against the Heat. There's going to be a point where they're like last second a healthy scratch from the game because LeBron James just isn't feeling it, or Anthony Davis, is complaining about another back injury. And then all of a sudden the line's going to go from like Lakers -6, -7 to Lakers -1, -1.5. And you know what I mean? Like, you could have got the other team on the money line before the game even started. And even in games where like the other team is favored, like I think they have to play Boston soon, and Boston's probably going to be favored by 10. I would take the other team on the spreads, and I would take Boston by 10, because I think these are games where like when the other team, is fighting hard and it's a close game, and then the secondary unit comes in, and now all of a sudden they're getting blown out by 10, 15 in the first half. In the second half, LeBron James is going to be like, bro, I'll give you my best 5 minutes, and after that, I'm out of here like a fucking pimp. Like, you know what I mean? I'm a fucking go balls deep for 5 minutes, and after that, this bench, this secondary, these other guys better hold that lead till I get back into it. Because if you guys don't and you guys lose that shit one more time, I'm not dealing with your ass. I'm just gonna get on the bus. So I feel like that's the mentality right here, because I think Anthony Davis and LeBron James really are, playing their butts off. But I feel like the secondary unit, just no cohesiveness, no ball movement, no communication, can't hit open jump shots, and they rely on Anthony Davis too much, and he's just not that guy. He's not him. You know what I mean? They want him to be him. They want him to be the next Shaq. They want him to be the next Kareem. They want him to be the next Paul Gasol. They want him to be the next Lamar Odom. This motherfucker looks like a Kwame Brown sometimes. And it's not because he doesn't have the skills. It's because he don't have the heart for this shit. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, that's the analysis. That's the thinking. That's the strategy. Thank you guys for listening. I'll see you guys next time on the one, the only, the motherfucking general.